You're the one people lean on. The calm one, the stable one. When chaos enters the room, you don't panic. When others fall apart, you stay composed. You've learned how to regulate your emotions, how to push through discomfort, how to survive without asking for too much. And yet, you feel alone. Not the obvious kind of loneliness, not the I have no one loneliness, but the quiet kind. The kind that sits with you even in a crowded room. The kind that whispers, no one really sees me. Here's the paradox. The very strength that helped you survive is now the thing isolating you. Psychology calls this adaptive self-reliance. It's a coping mechanism formed when you learn early on that depending on others is unreliable, unsafe, or disappointing. You didn't become strong because life was easy. You became strong because you had to. Over time, your nervous system adapted. You developed emotional regulation not as a skill, but as armor. You learned how to contain pain instead of expressing it. How to stay functional instead of vulnerable. From the outside, this looks like confidence. On the inside, it often feels like emotional exile. Emotionally strong people tend to have avoidant or dismissive attachment patterns, not because they don't want connection, but because they learned that connection comes with cost. They internalize the belief that being low maintenance keeps relationships stable, that needing less makes you safer to love. But here's the hidden consequence. When you never let people see you struggle, they stop checking in. When you always say, I'm fine, people believe you. When you carry your pain quietly, the world assumes you don't need support. And so you become admired, but not held. Carl Jung once wrote, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." For emotionally strong people, this acceptance is especially difficult because it requires something that feels deeply unfamiliar: softness. There's an invisible grief that comes with strength. The grief of being the listener, but rarely the one listened to. The grief of being trusted but not protected. The grief of being capable but unseen. You sacrifice authenticity for stability. You sacrifice vulnerability for control. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to disappear inside your own competence. As adults, this shows up in specific ways. You might be the one who gives great advice but never follows it for yourself. The one who supports everyone else but struggles to ask for help. The one who feels deeply but processes everything alone. The one who stays composed in conflict but feels emotionally exhausted afterward. The one who attracts people who need saving, not people who know how to stay. These are not personality traits, they are coping strategies. Healing doesn't begin by becoming less strong. It begins by witnessing the cost of your strength, by allowing yourself to need without apologizing, by letting someone see you mid-process, not just after you've recovered, by realizing that interdependence is not weakness, it's regulation. True emotional strength isn't the absence of vulnerability. It's the ability to be seen without armor. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to prove anything. You were never meant to carry everything alone.